Good day.
You come to visit someone in my jail, Father? Or do you want to pick out a nice warm cell for yourself?
How dare you?
Oh, I'm just pulling your leg. See? A smile. Just for you, Father.
Damn. Easily offended by really basic jokes. I guess it was a different time. Sporting a vile expression. Likely helpful in his line of work. Not welcome to others, though.
Bishop Henry sends me.
The bishop, eh? What does he want?
He wants me to talk to Bartholomew of Shiring.
Bartholomew of Shiring? Ha! It's only Bartholomew now. It's his 4th day without bread. Soon he won't even be Bartholomew anymore.
Bartholomew. I am Brother Philip. We have never met, but I am responsible for your fate.
No one ever chose my fate for me. I choose my fate.
Your conspiracy. Was it really worth dying for?
Stephen sent you. Why would you side with the usurper?
I was asked to make you confess.
Stronger men tried that before you. Why should I confess to you?
Your people found refuge in my priory. Your confession will help me to give them work and shelter.
I have no sins to confess. My only regret is that I failed.
I will not tell the king that. They will kill you.
They have already done that. Monk, tell them that I confessed.
To what?
All of it. Treason.
But
the son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the father. Tell Stephen that as well.
you know the scripture.
Richard and Aliena, my children, they must live.
Bartholomew confessed, but asked for clemency for his children.
And a good day to you too, Father.
There are so many moments where he stops and grabs his cross and closes his eyes, and you can tell that he is just kind of breaking because he's making these decisions of what he thinks is right based on the basic information he's given, and it always turns out to be kind of wrong. What if I bring up the castle? Provoke Waller and mention castle. Dare I? I dare.
Would you not rather build a castle, my bishop?
What?
A castle like this, I mean. Do you not find this place remarkable? Winchester Castle?
Of course. It is.
Leave the castle and return tomorrow. That must be what comes up after I do the confession part, or if I didn't do that, maybe I could just come back tomorrow and this story would just proceed without the confession happening. But it might be a chance at helping this children, maybe.
He confessed to everything, but he asks for clemency for his children.
Good. I will let my brother know what we have achieved today once he returns from the hunt.
Good, Philip. You did well.
About Bartholomew's children,
My brother was never one to judge a man by the deeds of his father. Still, I shall mention Bartholomew's request to him.
Maybe I should come back tomorrow.
Yes, there is not much a monk can do here.
Yes, your bishop and I will do what we can to help your priory.
My loyal subject, Percy Hamley, today becomes the Earl of Shiring. Of the former Earl's possessions, Percy shall have the castle, and all the land that is tenanted to knights, plus all other arable land and low-lying pasture.
I swear by all that is holy to be your liegeman, and to fight for you against any other.
My king...
Ah, yes. Of course, I have not forgotten the worries of my bishops. The Earl of Shiring himself, Percy here, solved this problem for me. Thanks to him, I can uphold my promise. Don't worry, Bishop Waleran, Kingsbridge shall be rebuilt. Percy told me of a man here whom my brother has not yet introduced. Come forward, Prior.
My brother, may I present to you Philip of Gwynedd?
My king.
You seem afraid. What are you worried about?
I'm worried because I don't have a clean robe to wear.
Then stop worrying. I like a monk to look like a monk, not like a king. Now, about the arrangement between you and Percy Hamley. He insisted that I give the sheep grazings belonging to the former Earl to the priory of Kingsbridge. The priory will also have the right to take stone from the Earl's quarry and timber from his forest. I wholeheartedly agree with the plan you two have devised. It shall be done.
Thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
It seems unnecessarily complicated to give the land to the bishop. Percy told me that you, Father Philip, share that sentiment. He told me it was your idea to take up the burden of managing the rebuilding of the cathedral yourself.
Wonderful.
I'm glad that we all were able to help you, Bishop Waleran, in this pressing matter. After all you have done for me.
Thank you, Lord King.
Bartholomew lost everything in his attempt to end my reign. This morning he was found dead in his cell. I've heard that you, Prior, worry for his children, Richard and Aliena. While they shall lose their status, their name, and their land, they shall go free, wherever they are.
You must be very proud, Lady Hamley.
Of course. Father Philip has been very understanding in all this.
Yes, he is remarkable. Very remarkable.
My husband and I were terrified when we heard about the fire in Kingsbridge. It is a blessing that we can help him and his priory now.
You sowed the wind, Philip.
He looks happy. I can't wait. Holy shit. You went to see Bartholomew in his cell. You rode with William to the bishop's palace and uncovered Waleran's secret. Waleran's servant thinks you are a thief and is suspicious of your motives. Great. That was unexpected reaction to adventure game interactions. I just got thrown off because the guy seemed all like, or something. Like he had some sort of weird reaction I didn't really understand. And so I thought he was looking at the knife. I'm like, I'm just going to grab that knife real quick, you know. And then from there on, I was like, what can I interact with? Oh no, he thinks I'm a thief now. Whoops. You made a very lucrative pact with the Hamleys. Bishop Waleran believes you betrayed him. Getting close.
Is everyone ready?
Yes, everyone will be there.
But how are we to pray and contemplate like this? I don't dare even to send my choir out there.
We shall get used to it, all of us.
We must be thankful for all of this, for each noise, each face that disturbs us here.
We shall start with the chancel, then gradually work our way from east to west. That's the way it's done, the way I was taught to do it.
I value your enthusiasm, my dear Mason, but so far we're only cleaning up. I haven't even considered hiring a master builder yet, neither you nor anyone else.
May I show you some drawings?
By all means.
We've done it. Every single character is all mixed into one spot. Even the baby. Oh, are we going to have the dream sections again, where he tells a story and we get teleported there? I think that might happen.
You look here first. Imagine you're standing in the center of the nave, looking at the wall. This is what you see.
Are those windows?
Right, but that's not all. On top are the clear-story windows. On the lowest level are the pillars of the arcade. They're joined by arches making up the bays. Through the archways you can see the windows in the aisle. Shall I go on?
Yes, of course. I was just thinking. Keep going.
Starting right in the middle is the Tribune Gallery.
I can see you've put a lot of thought into this. I was just wondering, how long would this take to build? You can take your time with that answer.
$8 to 10 years with 60 masons, 15 years with 30 masons. Both are a long time, aren't they? Can we get 60 masons with that new hot deal?
Well, that depends on how many people you employ. If you can afford 60 masons, you could build the whole church at once instead of working from east to west. That might take 8 years, maybe 10.
I wish my monastic officials had your ability to think ahead and calculate. Go on now, show me the rest of your drawing.
When we walk around the site, we mark where the walls will be, the pillars, the doors and buttresses. Now for that we need a plan like this, to tell us where to place our pegs and string.
Is this how birds would see our church?
Exactly. The nave is on the left. It has 6 bays.
And the chancel?
The chancel will have 4 bays. I can see the transept is 2 bays wide, so it will be 12 in total. It does look splendid, but isn't that rather small? Well, can you afford to build it bigger?
I have trouble affording it at all. The king grants us timber and stone and wool from Shiring's pastures. But only God knows if it will be enough. I don't suppose you have any idea how much this would cost.
You never know what might happen, but give or take, we'll need at least £3,000.
I've spent the last few weeks working out the annual income of the priory. Here's the answer. £300 a year, and we spend every penny. So, I need to find £200 a year. It doesn't sound so bad when you put it that way. You really want to build this cathedral yourself, don't you?
Yes, Father. I want you to appoint me Master Builder.
Why?
Because he wants to give people hope.
Is that so? Then answer me this one last question. If people were to enter your church, what image would they see crowning the tympanum above the entrance? One of Judgment Day to teach people to be good? Or one of Paradise to remind them of God's mercy?
Show them hell, so that they're afraid to do bad things. I'd rather see trees and animals.
Rather fitting to have the daughter chime in and to remind us of one of the first things I said about giving people hope at the beginning.
It should be the promise of a better life. Therefore, it will show heaven.
Yes.
This is quite exciting, isn't it, brother?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Francis.
I'm just glad that I can be a part of this. In the past year, I was often afraid that my involvement in politics might turn out, well, let's just say that I'm glad that I can still be by your side, Philip. And for that, I thank God, and I thank you too.
Papa, will there be statues inside? Statues?
Oh, that's enough, children. It's time you went out and played. Prior.
Yes?
My first wife, Agnes. She died without a priest, and she's buried in unconsecrated ground. Sometimes a man builds a chapel, or founds a monastery, in the hope that in the afterlife God will remember his piety. I just wonder, do you think my design might serve to protect Agnes's soul?
God no longer asks for blood sacrifices, for the ultimate sacrifice has already been made. But the lesson of Abraham's story is that God demands the best we have to offer, that which is most precious to us. So you must ask yourself, is this design the best thing you could offer?
Except for my children. Yes.
Then rest easy, Tom Builder. God will accept it.
Hey, we got ourselves a job. Also, we are shifting perspectives so often to the point where all the other perspective characters are also in the room, and so when a dialogue comes up, I'm like, oh, I'm playing as this one now. Okay. Contract dated February 1st, 1136. I, Philip of Gwynedd, in representation of Kingsbridge Priory, hereby assign Tom Builder, a master builder for the construction of Kingsbridge Cathedral. The Priory will provide £200 a year to be used wholly for materials and craftsmen. The pace of construction shall be adjusted accordingly and adhere to plans approved by the Prior. In exchange for his work, Tom Builder and his family are to receive a private house and the right to attend all common meals of the Priory. The contract is subject to change with the Priory's financials and gives future prospect of additional payment to compensate for the Master Builder's work. Signed, Priory Philip of Gwynedd and Tom Builder. It always throws me off that that's pronounced Gwynedd. It ends with 2 D's. Half the reason to play this game at this point is just to keep visiting all the different paintings that they show you along the way. There's so many of them, and they're so beautiful generally. We seem to be in the last chapter of this book, after which we'll have to wait for them to make the next books. There's supposed to be 3 books that makes up the story. Tom can draw so well. I must watch him very, very closely, till I can draw like that too. Unfriendly monks. Oh, it's that guy. I don't like them. They always shout at me as if I was stupid. I'm not talking to them. I don't like them. Where'd they put all the horses? Oh, there's Mother. I think she's starting to like it here, even with all the noise and the monks.
Jack, do me a favour and give Paul these herbs, will you?
But he's a monk. You don't like monks.
Well, it turns out not all of them are bad. Still, be careful before you trust any one of them.
Especially that one. The one that's always listening to you.
There he is! Give our prior the welcome he deserves!
Oh, you know, I am only following God's will.
Prepare to raise the bell! Make the prior proud!
Well, thank you.
Go on, Jack. Don't forget about Paul's herbs.
Where have I seen that woman before?
He is never going to let that go. I'm obsessing over where he's seen her before. Mother gave me these sage leaves for Paul. There's Alfred. Alfred, I thought you were dead for a while there. That was weird. Tom says it takes many years to build a cathedral, but only one night to burn it down. Did I do right? Why is he so friendly all of a sudden? He hasn't hit me in weeks. Am I scaring him?
Hey.
What are you doing?
I'm supervising. Tom asked me to. We see eye to eye now, you know. He asks me things and I can say yes or no.
Huh.
Hey, did you tell him that I had trouble with him? Right. I have to carve up some steaks later. If you want, you can help me. Or you can do whatever the hell it is you're doing all day. It's your call.
So we're getting along better now, partly because he seems to have patched things up with his father more, which I kind of helped, I guess, and I also helped out by just giving him some food, and those two things stacked on top of each other seem to have relieved multiple stress sources and just sort of generally rectified how much our group even gets together. They clapped their hands for Philip. Tom said it takes many years to build a cathedral. Oh, went back around. Oh, as if they wanted everyone to hear that he was coming. So much noise. Tom can draw... Oh, that's the one. Where's Paul? That's Alfred. That's you. Oh, different screen. That makes sense. That's what I'm missing here. It makes sense that... Wow, this place looks completely different in a different season, by the way, with all the snow gone. It makes sense that giving him food would have led to him liking me more, but the big thing is probably just he was taking out on me the constant issues he has with his father, most likely. There's Paul. He looks like an old tree. I think he's as ancient as the forest. One day I'll be just like him. Can I still go over this path? We established before there's like, what, limestone over there? So that's probably foreshadowing for the building materials that would be necessary for later in the game, or later in the story.
Oh, good day, boy. If you see your mother, tell her the pain's gotten worse. I think I might take her up on our offer now. Oh, don't you ever get as old as I am, boy. 'Tis not natural.
This is from my mother.
Oh, bless her. Boy, whatever Remedius says, your mother is a saint. Oh, is that the bell? Can you see it from here? A bell without a cathedral. Your father certainly had strange ideas.
It might be. What's a bell?
Excuse me? You. I remember you. You're the boy with no father.
Actually, I have two fathers now.
Is that so?
Yes. Tom Builder and Jack Sherburg.
I thought you weren't the builder's son.
Well, I am now.
I have to say, Prior Philip told me there would be a lot of sheep here. I can see he wasn't exaggerating.
You know Philip too?
I do. He's the reason I'm here. Is he around?
He should be around somewhere. Busy man, that fellow. But don't worry. You probably won't have to look for him for long.
All right. Thank you.
He's the reason you're here for multiple reasons. Dooming your family and then saving the children.
Shall we go after them?
No. Now we know where we can find them.
Ha! Ho!
My bishop, William Hamley, has returned to see you.
Send him in, Timothy. We have much to discuss.
Wow. They're setting up William and also the bishop as these cartoon villains almost. You gave a pessimistic estimation of the cost of construction. You chose an image of paradise for the new cathedral's tympanum. I don't know that word. I'll just be honest about that. Nobody found out about Francis's involvement in the conspiracy at any point of the entire story. I think this is just a summary of the book. Lady Aliena, why does she want to talk to Philip? Bishop Walleran began scheming against Kingsbridge. You finished book 1. Well, there we have it. So this is the end of book 1. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure books 2 and 3 aren't supposed to be out yet. I think they said it would be months or something before they came out. So I'll get around to playing those as they come out. But for now, this is our finale. Bit of a cliffhanger, but I guess we had a climax or resolution in the fact that we got to get the proper church construction underway. It'd be interesting to see how things go. As far as an adventure game goes, mechanically, it's very simplistic. You only have the occasional, mostly just observation puzzles. Voice acting's fine. The animation's decent, and the painting style is just beautiful all the time. Even this, again, is just another wallpaper of just beautiful background, which they made a surprising number of. They were so willing to just have individual camera pans where a camera angle you're going to see for 10 seconds was all painted from scratch again, like when we were looking at this window earlier and stuff like that. And that takes work, and I applaud that stuff. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested in seeing where things turn out. See you next time.
Next time on the Pillars of the Earth, find out what happened to me and my brother Richard after the siege of our father's castle. What will the future hold in store for Kingsbridge? The Pillars of the Earth, Sowing the Wind.
Might be a little out of order storytelling going on there. So we're gonna get to see what we've missed along the way by switching to other point of view characters. That's a good idea. Alright, so while you're waiting for this next one to come out, assuming you're watching this now and not later, you might want to check out Shardlight or Dead Synchronicity. Those are a couple of the ones I'd recommend that I've played previously on the channel that are point and clicks with cool settings and things going on. Neither of them are Middle Ages. They're both future post-apocalyptic stories with a hint of darkness. One of which was made by the same company as this, I think. I should really double check these things before I say them, but I think that Synchronicity was made by this same animation group, because it seems to have the same sort of tricks to their sort of like cartoonish art style mixed with just general darkness and so on, I think. Shardlight is from Wadget Eye Games, the people that make those heavily pixelated, really beautifully put together adventure games like I think that a Gemini Rue and Primordia and stuff like that. I think they're the same people, but they do the more simple looking, not simple looking, but they do the more retro looking pixel art that still looks like heavily detailed and almost painterly, whereas this group does straight up like paintings for their stuff. Cool juxtaposition. Still on the lookout for a lot of adventure games, and I've got a big list that I've still got to get through. So thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.